heart is where the home is. For where the heart is, that's where you find the hero. Hero home, hero home. Good morning, hero. My home, my heart is where the hero home is. For where the heart is, that's where you find a hero.
Hello, everybody, and good morning to another edition of Wendy Wednesday. It's great to have you back watching our program. Today is Wednesday, December 9th, and I am joined by my friend and colleague, Alison. Hello. Alison. Nice to see you in front of the camera.
I know, it's a nice change of pace for just a day.
Absolutely. So, as you may recall, Alison is typically behind the scenes filming, but we bring her out for special occasions when it's very craft focused. Alison is our crafting guru, and if you remember, for Halloween we did this awesome pumpkin carving, which was so much fun. So, of course, the second that show ended, I said to Alison, I was like, okay, Alison, what do you do for Christmas and the holidays? Because you're naturally talented with crafts, and I wanted to make sure that we had you scheduled. So I booked Alison like right away, right after Halloween. So I'm so happy that you're in front of the camera again. So
yeah, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be the craft guru. It's a fun thing to be.
We'll put that on your business card. So thanks to Antonique for being here today and filling in behind the scenes. And we're joined by Olivia and Catherine. So nice to have you guys in studio as well. So let's get down to business. It is chilly. It feels like winter is here. You've brought out the winter coat, I'm assuming, right?
Yes. And the scarves and the gloves and the hats, all the things to keep warm.
This was my first week. I had resisted it. I think we spoke about this last week. I resisted my winter coat, but this week I was like, okay, there is just no turning back. I have to deal with it. So, because the temperature high is only 43 degrees today. So, bundle up if you do venture out. For lunch, we're having chicken schnitzel, which I'm not really sure what chicken schnitzel is. Do you know what schnitzel is?
It's German, that's all I know.
German, right?
Like a sauce on it, like a brown gravy sauce on it.
Okay, Olivia says it's a brown gravy sauce, so I am sure it will be quite delicious. It's being served with diced stewed tomatoes and baked potato with mandarin oranges for dessert. Hope you enjoy that lunch. For dinner, we're serving cream of spinach soup with French toast and syrup, so it's kind of like breakfast for dinner, which is always fun to have. And that's going to be served with baked apple slices and apricots for dessert. So enjoy. We have two resident birthdays today, Peter L. and Rita P. Happy birthday to you. Our staff birthdays are Joshua from Finance and Alejandro from Food Services. And some notable people who had birthdays on this day, Clarence Birdseye, the American inventor and founder of the modern frozen food industry. He was actually born in Brooklyn in 1886. So that's kind of, really a household name now if you think about Birdseye. Tip O'Neill. Do you remember Tip O'Neill? No.
I don't know who that is.
He was the 47th Speaker of the House. He was very larger than life, very well known in his day. He was from Massachusetts. He was actually born in 1912, and he was definitely a big figure in politics, like I said, back in the day. Kirk Douglas, he had his birthday today. He was born in 1916. Red Fox was born on this date in 1922. Judi Dench, John Malkovich, and Donny Osmond, they all have birthdays today. And a little known fact, today is National Pastry Day and National Llama Day. So I'm a dog lover, so of course I'm thinking, what am I going to talk about, pastries or llamas? And of course I went to llamas, right? Catherine and Olivia. So we got a whole bunch of dogs. Are you a pet lover, Antonique? Oh my goodness, we let Antonique in the studio and she doesn't love pets. Well, we are going to change your perspective, okay? We're gonna introduce you to all our pet therapy dogs. We're gonna change your outlook. So, getting back to llamas. There's more to llamas than long eyelashes and a smug expression. They are surprisingly smart, friendly, and quirky. So, here are 5 interesting facts that you all might not have known. They make excellent guards for herds of small animals. They're very social and will adopt a group of sheep or goats as their own herd. Did not know that. Then they'll protect the herd by chasing off coyotes and other predators. Llamas are actually quite smart. They can distinguish between the neighbor's dog and a coyote. Llamas are the camel's hippie cousins. They belong to a group of animals called camelids. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That also includes alpacas. All camelids spit or stick out their tongue when they are annoyed. So don't annoy your local llama. One of the ways llamas communicate is by humming. Llamas are diabetic, sort of. The College of Veterinary Medicine is using their herd of 30 llamas and alpacas to study how certain hormones affect blood sugar, because the metabolism of llamas are very similar to that of the human diabetic. So the results of this research could provide insight into human diabetes treatment, which is quite interesting. So that now you know a lot about llamas. You can have a great cocktail conversation in the dining room with your families and tell them about how much you know about llamas, right? Okay, everybody is speechless now. So we'll get on to more interesting topics now, which is what brings Alison in front of the camera, which is the holidays and wreaths. So maybe talk to us a little bit about what you do craft-wise with the holidays and decorating.
Well, I always like to have seasonal decor in my home. I always switch out my door wreaths per season. It's just, I just like to feel festive and, you know, have a nice thing welcoming me when I come home. So I don't normally make wreaths, but I did happen to make one last winter that it was just an idea I saw on the internet that I wanted to try, and I thought it would be fun. I didn't have a winter wreath yet. I had a Christmas wreath, but then nothing between Christmas and like Valentine's Day or the spring. So I needed something to fill it in.
Does this mean that you have wreaths on your door at any moment on the calendar, and then you just change it up based on the time of the year?
Yeah. Yep. I try to. You know, I have like a, and they're not all wreaths. Some of them are like kind of baskets with floral stuff in it. So I have a spring one. I have a summer one that has strawberries all around it, and like a gingham bow. It's very cute. That's my favorite one.
It's not fresh strawberries.
No, they're like, it's all like stuff you would find in like the Michael's craft store or something like that. They're like little plastic ones, but they look real and they look, you know, festive.
Nice.
And then I have one with kind of orange or more orangey flowers and pumpkins and harvesty looking for the fall. And then I have one with pines and like some jingle bells for the bow on my Christmas one. So, and then I have my winter one I made is, it has a scarf that it looks like just a ring with a tied scarf around it. And I glued some snowflakes around it. So today I was going to show you all how I made that wreath with some new supplies. And maybe we can even give it away to somebody who calls in at the end of the show if it turns out okay. You'll have to see, but
awesome, terrific.
You know, so I thought I'd show you. Just it's a super simple way to make this wreath.
Alison comes
and I brought some
with her
supplies.
Tool. Yeah, so you come with the tools, with the hot gun glue.
Hot glue gun. Yep. So we start with this styrofoam wreath that I just got at the craft store. Just a nice scarf, any pattern that you want. I picked a red one for the holidays. So what we're gonna do is you just kind of wrap it around the ring, and I have some neat pins, like sewing pins, straight pins, that we can secure it with once we're satisfied with how it looks. So I'm just gonna wrap it around a couple times until I cover the ring. And I did a practice one, and it took me a couple tries, so we'll see if I can get it on the first one to look just right.
And this is a relatively new phenomenon of yours. Like, you haven't been doing the scarves for very long, right?
Nope. This is just, I did one wreath because I thought I liked how it looked, and now this is my number 2. So we'll see how it turns out.
Did you have wreaths on your doors growing up? Like, was this something...
Yeah, we always had something festive. My parents do that too. Either a wreath or like, they had like these cardboard cutouts. Like I remember at Halloween we had this skeleton on the door that had like movable joints that we loved to play around with when we were kids. That was fun. What about you? Do you decorate for the seasons?
You know what? I was going to say, my first reaction was going to be like, no, not so much. But when my kids were younger, I definitely, especially with Halloween, I had a life-size, like, skeleton, but like a not a stuffed animal, but you know, like I don't know. It was like stuffed. It was like three-dimensional, you know.
Okay.
And so I had that, always had that out, and I used to have a rocking chair outside on my front porch. So I would place him on the rocking chair, and I think we named him. My son used to be, who's really into science stuff. He used to be into the planets, so I think we named him like Neptune or something like that. And every year he would come out with a lot of signs and pumpkins. But then my squirrels eat the pumpkins, so that didn't last very long. Although they do say that there's stuff you can do to deter. Wasn't somebody talking about spraying the pumpkins with something?
My husband did that.
Right.
Clear spray paint.
Right. So, but then but then me, the animal lover, I feel guilty. I'm like, oh, how could I deprive the squirrels of eating the pumpkins? So I just let them eat the pumpkins. I know, don't judge. So just, you know.
Okay.
Now look at that.
So here we go.
Wow.
I am going to use a couple pins to just secure it in place so we don't see any of the green styrofoam underneath.
That looks so pretty, and that was so quick. And
it was very quick, yeah.
And the scarf is staying tight to the wreath too.
Yeah, and see how we've got this poking out, so we can just take a pin and just kind of stick it in, so it's.
That's so pretty.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could use it as is, or I brought some different things we could decorate it with. So, got some pine. This was, I've shared before that I love to go to the New York Botanical Garden with my husband, and there was a bough on the ground. I didn't take anything off a tree, but I just picked up some. Doesn't smell too piney, but I assure you these are real.
But so will they, like over time, won't those like fall off?
They will. That's a downside to using a real one.
How long will that last, do you think?
I think it might last maybe like a month.
Oh, okay.
So
actually, I can smell it from here. It does.
Can you smell it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So rather than glue these on, I might just pin them if that'll stay. So, you know, it can be reused next season with some different live boughs. So is that how you say it? Boughs? Boughs. Tree boughs. That's what it is.
Okay.
Branches. There we go. Pine branches.
That was what Catherine said. Branches.
Yeah. So I've got that, and then I thought maybe attach like a little pine cone here and have like a little rustic, wintry wreath.
So with your wreaths, you don't take them apart and then, like, you keep them year after year as.
Yeah. It does create a bit of a storage problem, especially in a small apartment that I live in. So. Some stuff I keep at my parents' house down in Maryland, and I swap it out. That's been a bit more of a challenge this year.
Right.
Right. So, but you have to have storage if you have a lot of wreaths.
That's, you know, but it is nice to have like such a welcoming entrance to your home, you know?
Yeah.
And then to have it based on the different seasons, it's very festive.
Yeah. Sorry if you can't see what I'm doing here. I'm just gonna do some glue and just like that.
Wow, that's terrific.
So just hang it on your door. Get I get one of those like over the door hooks, and you just stick it on, or you can get some string and hang it somehow to whatever you want. So there we go.
Wow.
And then I brought some other, just as a FYI, what I do sometimes, I found these are like little, they're kind of squishy window clings. This is what I used in my wreath when I first made it, because you can stick a pin through it and it'll stay. These ones are more it's like a very light piece of wood, and these you would have to use a hot glue gun to secure on. So I kind of went in the other direction. I was thinking either snowflakes or the pine and the,
Okay.
you know, rustic, Christmassy, wintergreen kind of feel. So that's what I went with for this one, because I think it goes more with this scarf pattern.
Oh,
So,
it's really beautiful.
so yeah, there we go.
Wow.
So if can we have well,
We'll do it at on another edition of Good Morning Hebrew Home. We will make sure that we
maybe on the next tomorrow we'll have you all
Yep.
call in and you can win this. So
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Allison. Wow. That is great. So do you have your Christmas tree up?
no, I don't have room for a Christmas tree in my apartment.
Okay.
I have a very teeny tiny one that I put on our kitchen table.
Okay.
But what I did do this year was I have like an armchair that's right next to the back of my desk. I have a desk with a hutch on the back of it, so it's kind of like a wall divider in our apartment. But the back of it has like all these cords coming out of it, and it just looks kind of gross. So I found this fireplace photography backdrop, and I put that on the back of the desk and hung our stockings above it. So it kind of looks more like a fireplace and mantle now with we have some pictures on top. So I can sit in my chair by the cozy fire. And that's how I decorated for Christmas this year. No tree, unfortunately, but got a roaring fireplace.
That's so neat. That's so creative.
Yeah.
Wow. Wonderful. All right. Well, we wish you happy holidays. Have you done your holiday shopping yet?
For the most part. I still have a few things to get, but
Online
working
or
on it.
Online or in person?
Mostly online.
Online. Yeah, that
Yeah.
seems to be the trend now. Everyone is doing their shopping online.
Yeah, our family does Amazon gift lists. That's where, you know, how we give each other ideas these days. So
Makes it easy. All right. Well, happy holidays to you.
thank you, you too, and all of you.
Before we close today, we'll just give you some reminders about programming, which is that we have our Jewish ethics program with Rabbi Noah. That's coming up right after this at 11:15. We have Wellness with Deborah at 1:30, a concert with Larry at 2:30, and a rebroadcast of this show at 6:30. So our thanks to everybody in the studio. Special thanks to Allison for this beautiful wreath. And thank you for tuning in today. We'll see you next time. Take care.